The story begins with a man named Hoffman entering a restaurant, visibly tense. Soon, the CEO of Pharmaceuticals arrives. He doesn't even recognize Hoffman. He's there to collect a report. Hoffman explains that a backup copy will stay with his associate. If anything happens to him, that copy goes straight to the authorities. They take a photo together before parting ways. Hoffman leaves shortly after, and a man named Ash follows from a nearby taxi. Ash sends him instructions, ensuring Hoffman boards the subway and escapes unnoticed. Ash is a fixer, and in this case, Hoffman's designated contact. Later, Hoffman leaves a voicemail confirming the payment is complete. As long as he holds up his end, their business is finished. The next morning, Ash visits a hidden location. He places the Pharmaceuticals file among other sensitive documents and locks it in a secure safe. The scene shifts. We meet Sarah, who's being followed by a man named Dawson. Sarah confides in a lawyer that she once worked on a team developing genetically modified wheat. During her research, Sarah discovered a food safety report detailing serious side effects. When she raised concerns, management dismissed her findings, claiming she misunderstood the data. Soon after, she was reassigned to a different department in Manhattan. 2 months later, she was terminated. Now, Sarah is being harassed. She believes the company is tracking her because she kept a copy of the food safety report. She wants to return it discreetly, without putting herself in danger. The lawyer gives her a phone number. He doesn't know who's behind it, but says they might help. They'll listen and call back if they choose to get involved. When Sarah gets home, she finds her car burned. The next day, she checks into a hotel and calls the number. Meanwhile, Ash attends group therapy. After returning home, he checks his voicemail. It's Sarah, explaining her situation. Ash begins researching her employment history, social media, everything. Ash calls her back using a relay service designed for deaf communication. He types his messages, which are spoken to Sarah. Her replies are typed back to him. The entire exchange is confidential. Sarah explains the wheat side effects. Some people experienced severe allergic reactions, others showed links to cancer. Her company plans a global rollout. Millions could end up consuming the wheat. Sarah wanted to go public, but refused a hush money offer. Now she's scared. Outside her hotel, a van is parked, clearly watching her. Ash warns her that her calls are likely being monitored. Inside the van, Dawson's team is intercepting her communications. They trace the relay call to the service office and show up, but the relay service has strict privacy rules. All calls are confidential, and no records are kept. The next day, Sarah follows Ash's instructions. She goes to a public location and activates a new phone number. She tells Ash her company is about to be acquired. If the safety report leaks, the acquisition will fall apart, something the company can't afford. Ash agrees to help return the documents, but he needs $50,000 up front. He assures her the money will be reimbursed from the funds recovered during negotiations. He explains that she needs to follow a series of unusual steps. From now on, every conversation will begin with a passcode. Ash marks 2 phones with colored tape, prepares printed instructions, and delivers them to Sarah. One page outlines how she sent the $50,000 in used bills, along with the company file. Ash instructs her to take the 10:05 a.m. flight from New York to Pittsburgh. Then, she boards the 11:50 a.m. flight to Atlanta. Everything must be timed precisely. He tells Sarah not to bring her personal phone. She must travel with the company file, the cash, and the phone marked with red tape. Don't open it until you reach the Pittsburgh gate, he warns. Dawson's team follows her to the airport. Ash, in disguise, boards the same flight. After landing, Ash buys a bag and drops it at Lost and Found with the name tag Sarah Grant. Ash contacts Sarah through the relay service and asks for her location. Just then, the Lost and Found desk announces her name. Dawson moves to investigate. Ash instructs Sarah to ignore the noise and head to the post office to mail 2 packages. Another announcement follows, sending Dawson in the opposite direction. Ash photographs the scene from afar. Dawson realizes the announcements were a diversion. Rossetti, one of his agents, watches Sarah mail the packages. She gives Ash the tracking number and tosses the receipt. Rossetti retrieves it. Ash sees everything. Dawson's team deduces that Ash made Sarah send 2 parcels, one likely containing the file. Ash confirms with Sarah that she mailed everything and kept no copies. Sarah says yes. Ash explains the next step. Once the package arrives, they'll negotiate. After that, Sarah will meet the SEAL wants to hand over the file. She asks if Ash will be present. He says no, she'll never meet them. They're intermediaries. They'll return the original and retain a copy as leverage. Ryan, part of Dawson's crew, installs a camera at a post office in Oklahoma. Meanwhile, Rossetti visits a Michigan post office asking about a parcel for a friend. She claims the locker key was misplaced. The clerk says they can't help without it. Rossetti pleads, asking if the package arrived. The clerk finds nothing, though it should have arrived. Rossetti realizes Ash may have used mail forwarding, making the original tracking number useless. Ash collects the package from a third post office. Inside are the used bills and the full file. He texts the CEO of Sarah's former employer, saying he has a 311-page food safety report. If they agree to leave Sarah alone, he'll return the file. Ash watches Sarah from across the street, hidden in another building. He planted a phone on Dawson's van. Soon, the planted phone rings. It's another relay call staged by Ash. Dawson answers. Speaking for Cibo Cementis CEO, Ash uses the moment to warn Dawson, stop following Sarah or the file goes public. If Dawson agrees, Ash will return the original and keep one secure copy. But Ash also demands a penalty fee, $500,000 in cash. Dawson has until tomorrow night. Dawson steps out of the van and signals Ash to approach. Following Ash's instructions, they drive away. Sarah calls Ash to thank him. He outlines the next steps. After the handoff, she needs to leave town for a few days as a precaution. It won't be permanent, he assures her. Sarah asks if she can spend time outside the hotel first. Ash agrees. He also sets up a daily check-in. Every evening at 6 o'clock, she'll leave a voicemail. If something's wrong, she'll say weather. If all is well, she'll say all right. The next day, Ash meets Wash, a woman from his therapy group, who's also a cop. Both had battled alcohol addiction, but are now sober. Wash had encouraged Ash to open up during their sessions. Meanwhile, Dawson agrees to Ash's terms. Ash instructs him to send unmarked cash via post. But Dawson hides a tracker inside the package, one with a battery that lasts 4 to 5 days. With the money en route, Sarah moves more freely, though Ash keeps a distant eye. In a lighter moment, Ash recommends a music album. Sarah buys it and plays a track. The small exchange draws Ash closer to her. He starts checking her social media. One day, Sarah misses their usual check-in. Ash calls back. This time, he pretends to use the relay service, but fakes a direct call instead. Their conversations began to drift from business. Still, Ash reminded Sarah to keep contact minimal. She didn't know Dawson was still monitoring the calls, but Ash had already shut the phone down. He changed his look and visited a post office, claiming he had a mailbox in California, but wanted all packages forwarded to his cousin Sarah Grant's box via general delivery. Soon after, Dawson left a voicemail. The money had arrived, but there was a problem. He claimed Ash had a 311-page report, yet the original file was 327 pages. 16 pages were missing. He demanded the full document. Ash reached out to Sarah. Appendix C was missing. Sarah said it wasn't important and she still had it. Ash warned her. Every step mattered. Sarah panicked, afraid Ash might abandon her. But instead, Ash rushed to Times Square. He told her to hide the remaining pages at the bottom of a Washington Post stack at a specific newsstand. She followed the instructions and left. But when Ash checked the pile, the pages weren't there. Dawson's team was already on site. Ash called Sarah and learned she had placed the pages in the wrong stack. The plan was falling apart. Most would have walked away. Ash didn't. He enlisted a nearby beggar to create a distraction. The beggar tossed papers into the air, then retrieved the hidden pages from the wrong pile. Dawson chased her, but she handed the pages to Ash just in time. Ash called Dawson and reminded him of their deal. He asked if Dawson wanted the file leaked. Dawson backed down. Ash laid out new terms. The handover would happen in public, at a location chosen by Ash's team. Both Sarah and the CEO would attend. All Dawson got from Times Square was blurry footage of Ash's face. Ash told Sarah the exchange would happen Thursday. Until then, she had to call daily and say one word, either weather or all right, no exceptions. If she broke protocol, Ash said they'd walk away. Meanwhile, the tracker hidden in the cash package Dawson sent had finally died. Back home, Hoffman was drowning in guilt over the lives lost due to his company. He told Ash, "There's blood on my hands." Hoffman said he wouldn't call again. Later, in group therapy, Ash opened up. He gave his name as John and said he was Muslim. He explained that Muslims don't drink, but after 9/11s, life in New York became unbearable. He began drinking to cope with the abuse and isolation. Ash eventually got a job on Wall Street, but saw unethical behavior. He reported it. Nothing changed. His drinking worsened. Someone paid him off and made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. He accepted in shock, but carried the shame. Ash prepared for the exchange. He told Sarah the original file had arrived. A table was booked under the name Adam at a restaurant where she and the CEO would meet. Ash informed Dawson of the plan, but Sarah didn't show up. She didn't answer Ash's calls. He sensed trouble. Then Sarah left a voicemail. Dawson had identified Ash using facial recognition. He knew Ash's real name, James Catan. Sarah blamed herself and said she'd do the handover alone. It was a trap. Ash rushed to the new location, a packed concert. He searched the crowd and called Sarah, but she didn't respond. He triggered the fire alarm. As the crowd poured out, Ash attacked Ryan and gave Sarah the passcode. "This is me. This is a trap," he said. He got Sarah out and told her to leave. She was confused. In the taxi, Ash kept giving instructions. Sarah begged him to stop. "Why did you do this for me?" she asked. Ash said it was his job. "Not this far, James," she replied. "That's not my name," Ash said. When she asked who he was, he whispered, "My name is Ashraf." They reached the train station. Sarah had to go alone. Before she left, Ash gently touched her hair. She walked toward the train. Ash watched until she boarded. Later, Sarah's phone rang. She was in Dawson's custody. Ash threatened to release the file, but Dawson offered a deal. He'd go with Ash to the location of the backup file. If Ash handed it over, Dawson would leave Sarah and the other person alone. Ash agonized over the decision. Revealing the location would endanger other clients. In despair, Ash nearly drank again. He didn't, but he did ask Wash for help. Eventually, he told Dawson, "Fine, I'll do it." The next morning, Ash arrived outside Sarah's apartment. Dawson's team was waiting in a van. They stunned Ash, tied his hands, and threw him inside. Sarah was already restrained. Dawson pointed a gun at her and demanded the location. Ash gave it up, but when the moment came, he fought back, throwing Lee out of the van and taking down Dawson. Then Sarah shocked Ash from behind. The truth unraveled. Sarah was the mastermind. It had all been a setup. They wanted the Optimo Pharmaceuticals file. Everything tied back to Hoffman. They reached the secure location. The room required a password. Dawson's team untied Ash's hands. Ash entered the wrong password on purpose. Smoke filled the room. In the chaos, Ash escaped. He attacked Ryan and grabbed his gun. Dawson fired. A passing car slammed into Ash. Still, he kept running. He staggered across train tracks and hid between containers. Rossetti heard him climbing and closed in. Ash ran again. This time, he faced Sarah. Both aimed their guns. Ash dropped his weapon. "Do it," he said. Just then, the police arrived. It was Washington. The entire group was arrested. Ash explained he had documents exposing Optimo Pharmaceuticals' dangerous products. These people were trying to take them. Wash asked why he had them. Ash replied, "It's my job. I help people who've seen things they weren't meant to see." Later, Ash visited a post office and collected the money. He kept half and sent the rest to the relay service staff. Then, he boarded a train and vanished into the distance. Soon after, the truth about Optimo Pharmaceuticals broke in the media. Well, that was it, guys. That's the end of the movie. Leave a comment and let us know your thoughts. Please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. Also, remember to like the video and gently touch on the bell icon to receive a notification whenever I release a new video. I will see you in the next video. Take care and peace out.